Greetings, friends. In our Old Testament reading for this week, we find the children of Israel in the desert. Now, the desert is a nasty place. I don't know if you've ever been in the desert before. I can't say that I have really. I saw it out the window of a train once, but to be out in the desert with no sustenance is no joke. Okay, so the Israelites right away they found water, but it's bitter water, poisonous water. You've seen westerns, right? Where there's somebody drinking the water, had drunk the water, and all there is a skeleton there, right next to the water, And then you've got no food, right? And then there's no water, and now they have enemies, the Amalekites. Now, they're portrayed in the Bible as a very harsh people because they lived in the desert. It's a harsh place, and this reflects the harshness of them. In fact, the desert or formless earth is one of the three elements of chaos, right? Darkness, formless earth, and watery deep. Chaos can't sustain. And so we have this vicious tribe of people. And they become in scriptures really like Israel's mortal foes. And so they have to engage in battle. It's a terrible thought, right? But in the Old Testament period, when God is creating a earthly nation, Israel, war and holy war was just the name of the game. So Israel's forced into battle. And we have Moses, who's standing on top of a mountain with Aaron and Hur, right? And when he lifts his staff up like this, the Israelites prevail. But when he gets weary and it comes down, the Amalekites prevail. And so we have Aaron and Hur on either side propping him up so that the battle is won for them. I'd like to look at Moses, as least depicted in Exodus, as a mystical part of us. I call him, he's the spirit within us that wants to connect with God. Aaron, I associate with the will, okay, because we all have a will. And the spirit sustains the will to pray. And Aaron is upheld, is upholding Moses, the spirit of Moses, to prevail in his prayers. And prayer is what brings the victory. Now, even though that's the Old Testament, and we don't get into battles like that in the church, hopefully, they tried it in the Middle Ages, it doesn't work well. But we see from our Timothy, I think it's Timothy, our epistle reading, where all Scripture is given. All Scripture, and he means by that, all the Old Testament is given to us. And so we see that Moses, as the church fathers show, really is forming a cross with his body and with his rod, right? And it's through Christ that we prevail against our enemies and dear brothers and sisters. We do have enemies. There are physical enemies. A lot of people hate the Catholic Church and wants to do violence to us, right? And there's demonic forces behind those people. We have enemies every day. We may not realize it, but they're haunting us. every day. And so we must pray. We've got to pray. And so Jesus gives us a parable in the Gospels, right, about the unrighteous judge. There's a woman who brings his case to her, and he keeps on to him, the judge, and she keeps pestering him until he finally gives in. And Jesus is really impressed with that persistence. Now, why is it that you have to be persistent? Why can't you just say a prayer and it's done, right? Jesus, please give me this, It's because Jesus wants us to engage our desire, our wills, like Aaron in the Old Testament, the Spirit. Because in the end, we get what we want. And what we want, we are very persistent in trying to get. Right? And so, our persistence shows you how much desire, how much love we have for God, how much desire we have for Him to deliver us from sin and our enemies, right? Desire in praying for loved ones, for their protection. The desire for God to provide our needs, right? I mean, the list goes on and on and on, right? So, prayer, persistence in prayer seems to me to be what the Lord is bringing to us in Sunday's homilies. So, we'll see you there. God bless.